We're gonna just water that in to make sure we're getting good soil contact. And we're gonna check our first bed, and this is our Bless Your Heart blueberry bush, and we just put this in last year. It's already taller than me. We're gonna go down here. We're gonna simply pull back our 2 inches or 3 inches of mini pine bark nuggets on top. We want that soil to have some moisture, and we're gonna take that probe down. And we're already at a 4.7, 4.8. And we're gonna lock that in. Lock that in, bring it out. So remember, our soil should be anywhere from a 4.5 to a 5.5. That's the gist of what I want you to get out of this whole thing. We can go down and test each one of these beds, and we're gonna fall within our range of that 4.5 to a 5.5. That means all of my blueberry bushes are optimized for the best growing conditions. So to make this equation as simple as possible, I got 4 1-gallon containers here. Each one of these containers represent 25. That's 25, 50, 75, 100. That equals our percentage that we're gonna be using for our mix. So what we need is 50% of our peat moss. So that's 25, 25, that's 50. So we need 2 of these filled up. And this is the formula that I use for mixing all my blueberry bushes. So whether it be 4 or 5-gallon buckets, 4, whatever it is that you have, long as you have equal parts of 4, this equation is gonna work every time. That's 25% of our mix. Okay. So there is 50% of our mix, and that's our peat moss. We only want 25% of our compost, so that represents 1 of these. There's our 25. So now we're 75%, 25, 50 in our peat moss, 25% of our compost. Our last 25% are gonna be our mini pine bark nuggets. Like I said, the easiest way to do this is equal parts. So there we go. 50% of our peat moss is for that low pH that we need. 25% of our compost. This is gonna be where we get some of our nutrients from. And we also have life in this. This is where our bacteria and our fungi is. 25% of our mini pine bark nuggets, that's gonna be for aeration. That's gonna allow the water to seep through the soil mix. And not only that, as this breaks down, it also contributes to the acidity of the mix. Now, none of this means anything without something for the plants to feed on. This is my favorite, cottonseed meal. The cottonseed meal in this compost is going to give your plants that boost that it needs once in the spring, once in the fall. This is our fall feeding here. That's 6% nitrogen, 1% phosphorus, and 1% potassium. This, by far, has been the best for me in terms of my blueberry bushes. Now you can also use baritone. None of this stuff I'm promoting in this video here. Most of the time you can pick this up from Tractor Supply, Ace Hardware, or maybe an online vendor or something. But this to me is the perfect blend for my blueberry bush mix. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and start mixing this in. Again, This is our 50% peat moss if we're looking at 4 parts. That's 25%. This is our 50%. We want to make sure that we have our peat saturated. Take our mini pine bark nuggets. As it starts to break down, it also adds to the acidity of our mix. And then we have our compost, which is going to be our nutrients, our bacteria and fungi. Get a 1/4 cup of our cottonseed meal. So we're going to mix that in real good. Get a little more water in there. So we go over here, we'll bring our 3-gallon container. Again, I got these from Lowe's, and these are perfect for 2nd-year blueberry bushes. So we're gonna fill the bottom of our container. Bring a blueberry bush over here. And this is an O'Neill that's been getting abused. See that? Now what we want to do also, let's get this part out of here. We're gonna rough it up. You see all those fine hairs on the side? Those are your roots. You just have to take your hand and just rough the sides up. Just all the way around, just rough up the sides really good to break up those hairs. Even down at the bottom. Because we want to leave about 2 inches on the top. And the reason why we want that, you see we got about 2 inches here on the top, because we're going to fill that with our pine bark nugget mulch on the top. And then we'll just go ahead and fill around it. And then we give it a shake to get that to settle in. You see how that root ball sitting on top? That's how you want that. That balanced out. Get all the air pockets out. We're gonna take our mini pine bark nuggets and we're gonna create a mulch over the top. That's gonna hold in that moisture. Take her out there, get her right here. Then we're gonna water in again. And she's gonna automatically start taking up those nutrients. So like I said, if you've been following the content, you know that I love my blueberry bushes. We're gonna get some more in the ground this year, but you're gonna see this baby, you can see all the new growth already starting to pop out where she was recovering already since we come back from vacation. So the last thing that we're gonna do is gonna come back and we're gonna check our pH to make sure that we are within our range. 5.1, 5.2. She's in a happy space. So if your blueberry bush is looking like this, don't fret. The right soil, the right fertilizer, correcting your pH, you can get it to look like this, growing out the box.